Hello, hello, hello. It almost didn't happen. Mercury retrograde, that's what happens, guys. So, I don't know if I should go with the music. Let's go with a little bit of music. Hopefully, people will join us. Bonjour, Chris. Bonjour, Barbie. I think Kylie said she's going to come. And so let me play just a tiny little bit of music. Oh, I closed everything because I just figured that's a solution, and it was a solution. So let's find some happy music and let's start this new year rolling. Let's go with this. Hello, everybody, and happy New Year 2023. I really hope everybody is coming up with something new or a fresh attitude. I'm so sorry for AF that you had a loss, but I'm so glad to see how great attitude you have moving forward. For me, I really have to tell you what is really different this year is that they didn't set goals. Well, I did, but my goals are not lose weight, because I have this goal for the 5 years and it never worked. This year was accept yourself, don't force yourself. And it was just kind of like be in a center. So depending what you are and how it's going to work, I don't know. I have a really, really good feeling about this year. For me, like 2022 was like, ugh, one of really, really, really bad years, and I couldn't wait for this to just like be over. In my country, we have Christmas is not the main thing, New Year is the main thing, and generally tradition is to clean everything, literally every little nook and cranny, dust everything, in order to move into January in that way. And I really have to tell you, I slaved on the 31st of December. I was like so tired by midnight, but I felt really good. I felt the energy was very, very high. So this is really nice. So let's see, be the healthiest they can be. It's really, really great attitude, kind of like to have it. So who is here? Who do we have? Almost it didn't happen, guys. It was just messing up. I woke up in the morning and the first thing I checked at 8 o'clock in the morning if it works, and it didn't, and it was giving me technical issues. So I fixed it almost like hour and a half later. And then when it was time to connect, it didn't let me connect. I was like, oh no. But like refreshing the computer, restarting, kind of like resolve the problem. So let's start, guys. So I don't know if you notice, I am doing dailies. I'm going to see how long I'll be able to sustain myself, but it's kind of like it's a burst of energy. I'm just trying to kind of like go this way and apply all of these different decks that I have at home. So for the reading today, we are doing the monthlies next 2 weeks, and that will be for February already. But today is just nothing really special because I won't be doing, will it be doing weeklies? I guess it's not possible because I'm doing dailies. Just like I don't want everything to kind of like overlap with everything. And this is like also one of my things, not to have big plans, but just kind of like go with the flow to see what really happens, right? So vice versa, it seems to be very kind of like meaning over here to kind of like do this. And we are going to start today with Capricorn because they have the birthdays. So happy birthday, Chris, happy belated birthday for you. And any other Capricorn in the house, please raise your hand. And I'm going to pull one so you guys, you know the rules of the game. We're going to have only one doors at the very end, but you know I'm going to be marking everybody who kind of like guesses. So this is going to be the first guess after Capricorn. So that's right, it's full wolf moon in Cancer. It was yesterday, and that's like the best one to release anything emotional, anything that is pressing us down. And boy, I kind of like really did my meditation on this one. I watched yesterday something that was like just so amazing. And you know that I usually don't advertise other channels, but this one is called Sherman Oaks, not Shaman Oaks, but Sherman Oaks. And he had an interview with a guy who had NDE, near-death experience. And it's pretty much that he described what I've seen in my meditations and what I've seen through my karma readings. I was like just mesmerized with that. So he was talking about dying on a table and being dead for 6 minutes, and seeing his pets on the other side who are like happy and healthy, and kind of like understanding how everything works. So he saw that Hall of Records, which I have seen. He saw the kind of like the center, which I think on the other side, that's where I quote unquote work, kind of like welcoming people after all this like learning trauma. He also said we are living this life on different planets. And that I have also seen. He's seen more details. This was all made out of marble, I guess. I really didn't pay attention to that one. Gardens I have seen. Oh yeah, it like only thing like he's seen differently. He saw a big movie theater. Maybe they upgraded on the other side. In movie theater, you can review your life, you can review your past lives, but I have seen that as a big crystal globe where you sit and look at it, no judgment. So he did claim there is God, and maybe he even thought Jesus. That was a little bit pushing it for me, but it's possible. I'm not saying it. Clearly, it was really interesting. So if you ever kind of like see that, right? Kylie said, I have learned that Sherman Oaks before. Yeah, that was really interesting. I heard him. How did I find him? I found him because he was using DMT. He didn't have Andy's story, but he had certain things. He met, quote unquote, what he called God, which was a blue woman. So that was really interesting. He presents his videos very well. I'm jealous. But it was really interesting, the interview, which I don't think it was his interview, it was somebody else's. He kind of like made it more concise. I did go and review the entire copy. It was really, really interesting. So let's see. So there you go, guys. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, this is going to be my year. I definitely I had losses last year, and I really want to connect in that way with the following year. So I think the stamp that I did for you Capricorns have to be revised because I blab for the next freaking 5 minutes. So let me revise this, and let's start with Capricorn. Happy New Year, Capricorn. Let's see what kind of messages. Oh, I didn't remove this. You're not going to see anything as long as I don't remove this. How is this? It's better. Oh my god. Wakey. Capricorn. Capricorn, don't let the doors and walls affect you. So vice versa is having things on both sides. I'm not going to take 10 cards. I'm just going to take one. So you have the 8 of Cups. And we have 6 of Cups. Interesting. And the last one is 4 of Swords. It is very interesting, Capricorn, how you are basically opening this year. The Eight of Cups is talking about reassessing everything you have and planning about the future, thinking. It's really strange. This is about the future, even though it's Cups, and Cups is usually emotional, which kind of like goes back to Chalice, goes back to what is inside, right? But the 6 of Cups, which just follows, is about the past and about our thoughts about things that have left. So it tells me that you're like taking you're going to the future by acknowledging the past, if this really makes sense to you, right? There is like maybe understanding that you need to move away from something or from somebody. I really like the little beautiful comet over here showing up. I'll try to see if I can zoom in here now that maybe it's going to let me. Let me see, is it going to let me zoom? It's letting me on my thing here, but I don't know if it's going to let me on the other one. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully you're going to be oh, there we go, it actually worked. It's not working like a straightforward thing, but it does help this way. So there is like a certain emotional balance you guys are going through or going for. It is like something that, I mean, this whole reading today is just to give you a little bit additional on the annual one. If you guys are not on my, hi Jenny, if you guys are not on my mailing list, I did send even astrological thing because it just like was so much to cover for this year, and I did really outline how things are going to come down. So you guys are kind of like very reflective and you're like really trying to do a very, very good thing. You're very thankful for everything that you have acquired, everything that you are so far. Oh my gosh, it's just like a really lovely feeling altogether. But there's like also clear connection with past lives, guys. There's like something that either you're going to get somebody step in and visit you, or you're going to have some kind of like experience yourself. Maybe you're going to go and get regressed and kind of like get your past lives, or maybe you are going to simply like get it in a dream. You don't really have to go through big things. Sometimes you get very, very strong deja vu. And Capricorn, you have to put it, guys, in perspective. Capricorns are very stoic. They are very career oriented. They are 99% of them are very, very successful and very practical and very helpful. If you look at any government, they're going to put the showman out front like a Leo or Scorpio, but who is going to really pull the strings will be Capricorns behind. There will be the people who will be just looking at the change of all these people in the front, but they will be staying there. So this is really telling me that Capricorns are going to be not only very fair, but also very kind of like insightful, and are going to experience things very, very deeply. So this is actually lovely to see, and good luck to you Capricorns in 2023. So let's just see. Hello China, how is everybody? Oh, look at us, like people did come today. And Barbie and I thought we are just solo over here. So cute to see you guys. So any guesses, guys, for which one is going to go next? Is anybody having kind of like wants to throw their hat in? I'm going to also draw the very next one over here until I see. If you guys don't want to guess, that's fine. I'm just going to move forward. You know, my random method of madness kind of a thing. So a friend of mine, as dog today, has to go to cesarean, and it's a big event. She wants to be a breeder. She's preparing for 4 years about that, so she's going to get 11 puppies. So guys, if anybody wants purebred champion Airedale, let me know. I'll put you in contact with her so you can go with that. Okay, so we have some guesses. We have Leo, we have Libra, we have Aries. However, we are going to go forward with Scorpio. So let's put Scorpio aside here, and you guys can. The moment when Barbie puts in capital letters the sign that I'm reading, that moment you can start guessing the following signs. So just so you know, because Barbie is actually running the show, I'm just doing what she tells me to do. That's kind of how it works here. So let's see Scorpio over here. Hello Scorpios, let's see what kind of year you're going to have. Scorpio. Hello Christelle, bonjour. Christelle is on our, I'll put you as a moderator. Christelle is on our group. I don't know, Christelle, if you met Chris. Chris doesn't come to our group very often recently, but he's in a group as well. Kylie, of course. Scorpio. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Scorpio. Dear Scorpio, you are really trying to make something work. Specifically, if you are dealing with a Sagittarius over here, there is like some really, really strong vibration that it's coming over here, right? There is also something that you feel that you have been set off, and this is all the Mercury things that is really happening over here. Mercury retrograde. Oh my gosh, guys, how is this handling for you? It's like so many delays over here, so that's why I was checking my computer this morning, and it still really didn't help. But this Seven of Swords, because this vice versa, we have two kind of like sides of each story, right? So in this particular case, he is taking stuff clearly, which is really interesting because these two swords are kind of like being kind of like put over here. It's almost like showing him a way, and he's looking over his shoulder. So we actually don't know if he is a bad figure or he is a good figure. So he has this cloaked kind of like appearance, and here we have this cloaked figure who also is not seeing this beautiful red flower and these kind of like two things kind of like growing, because this is like the card of suffering. This is the card of sorrow. It just like it feels like that you're in some kind of suspension, that you need to learn certain lessons, right? Because 7 and 5 is kind of like arriving us to this hangman, and this kind of like gives us this entire information. You really need to kind of like work on rebuilding certain things. It looks like to me that you're really, really trying, but they're like some kind of like fallouts, and they're fallouts on two different levels. It's not only emotional, which is kind of like your area, you can really handle emotional fallout, but it's also for you feeling that somebody's taking something away from you, or feeling that like you have been betrayed, or are you betraying somebody. So be very, very careful about these sevens, because sevens can be very tricky whenever they really appear, right? So there's like some kind of like motion that is like really usually indicated with sevens, but it's followed by a 5, so it's kind of like retracting right back. And that's sometimes typical for Scorpio, who needs to process emotional things. They kind of like go all in. You guys date Scorpio, it's mesmerizing. It can be also too much for most of us, right? So be very careful, because you're going to see they're really trying to do very well, but you need to do your own share as well, because maybe it's going to be Scorpio who is pointing out and saying, you know what, I can make this work, but this needs to happen. It's almost like putting down their conditions. Don't forget that Scorpio is a fixed sign. So when you run into fixed signs, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, Aquarius, these people are not overly flexible, because they're usually building their own system. It's almost like the game of Jenga, and you want them to pull a whole bunch of stuff. It's very, very difficult. But communicate and see where this goes. Okay, guys, did you guess the next one? Jenny, we have gotten so much snow. It's been a long time. Oh my gosh, we had it last year, but this year we have a very, very warm winter so far. We did get one snow, which was almost a foot of snow, but it melted in the next week or so. And since it was warm, it was one day so warm, I walked out in a winter coat. I had to take it off, so I just stayed in a t-shirt. And but then it got cold the next day again. It's absolutely crazy. I heard that in Alps it was like 18 degrees. I don't know what is this in Fahrenheit, guys, but let's say 60s, like in the winter, like, and the Alps are melting. It's crazy. I don't know. It's nice for the time being, but it's possibly not good for the nature. So okay, so we have here Libra, Taurus, Virgo. Okay, nobody guessed Cancer. Looks like we are doing the emotions first today. So let me put a timestamp here. Cancer. And let's start with you, Cancer. Cancer. We have 7 of Wands. Now, something really strong. This is really important because you are shown as a number 7 in tarot, my dear Cancer. Ooh, you have Wheel of Fortune. I'm just watching Stargate series, and like this is like always reminding me of that Stargate. It was like one of the movies that I like the most. So let's see. And the last one is King of Pentacles. So, okay, Cancer, good news. First and foremost, you will need to defend something. And it's something that you have worked really, really hard. And now everybody thinks just because you got it, they're better off. They're better than you are, and they have the rightful way to take it away from you. Do not let them. It's not true. And so here, this is really showing, it's really kind of like lovely. Look at this is the regular Wheel of Fortune. This is the only card that really differs, because this is not exactly the same. So it's not the other side, something completely different, which tells me over here so many different things. From look at her with this like big lion paw over here. Like this image here is like so making an impression on you. I cannot even start telling you how important this is. It's almost like the time and space works for you, that you're going to get anything that you want. This Wheel of Fortune is so powerful, and it's coming right next to like very two strong figures, to King of Pentacles, which is also about the financial benefit, right? Versus this is like you are simply fending off, even though it looks like there will be numerous attacks and numerous kind of like people trying to take you down or chip on you. You are going to not only be victorious here, but you're going to be lucky. And luck, you know, like if you ever walked into a Chinese store and you see this cat with a thing, it's kind of like to bring luck, and they understand the kind of like value of luck. Most people get rich, yeah, sure, with connections and being born in the right family, that helps, but ultimately it's the luck that really matters. So this is really important here to do that. So congratulations, Cancers. Just you're going to just put a little bit more zeros onto your bank account, which is really nice. Oh, Jenny, you're like Aqua, like me. You love the snow. First flake. Oh my gosh. Do I like the snow? I love the snow, but do I like 2.5 meters of snow for 6 months? That's a different story, right? So I moved here on the East Coast. It's more snow. And so East Coast in Canada has the coldest and the warmest water. If you go down on the coast of Nova Scotia, which is all the way down on Atlantic Ocean, they're so cold over there that you just turn blue when you go in the water. Meanwhile, here in New Brunswick, just a little bit, I don't know, what is this, like north, 20 minutes away from me, literally, north, what would that be, east of me. They're the warmest beaches in Canada. They're like almost as warm as in California. So it's just a little strait between New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island, and they're really nice sandy beaches. So that's kind of like where I live. It's a good hub between the provinces. So I didn't draw the next one, but you're guessing. And let's see. So this is the next one, and that's the one for after this one. So let's see. We have Libra. Somebody did guess. There you go. Kylie. Guess Libra. Let me put Kylie. Oh, no. Sorry. That was for the previous one. Not this time around. Sorry, Kylie. Sorry. I'm just seeing like Barbie's big Cancer. So nothing this time around. But try here again. So Libra. Let's put the stamp here. Libra. So guys, did you check my dailies? What do you think about it? Is there helpful, not helpful? Because I'm really kind of like feeling drawn into dailies for some reason, and I just said let's start, let's see how it is. Ooh, Libra, you're also having a Wheel of Fortune in a little bit different way. Ooh, oh my gosh. I'm having freaking chills. So you're having Wheel of Fortune, the Magician. Hello, any coincidences here? And we have a Four of Pentacles. So my dear Libra, from luck to doing whatever you want and telling me you can do whatever you want, like, and then like you're holding something to your chest. So that's the question, why you're feeling that you have to hold it, but you know, maybe it's a lesson learned. So as above, so below, there's like this transmission, like as you can see in both of them, there's like some kind of like karmic things. That was for me happening the last year, that I felt that I'm cutting these karmic cords on every level. but it's kind of like it's feeling really energizing here for you. And this one is like not as but look at this, like it's burning under his feet and he's not moving. So this is really kind of like jumping over here. So he's like kind of like a frozen. So you need to be able to jump in action when the action calls you, because I actually looked what is behind before I put it on the table, right? And he is looking like I'm in the future. He's looking what is really, really ahead of him. So he's basically mesmerized with what is going on in order to realize what is happening to him. So this is like something financial versus like this is mesmerizing. This is showing all elements in the Magician, a major arcana. It's a 1, and this is showing all signs in this particular one, like I mean all fixed signs, Taurus. And why? For the same reason that I said it's kind of like they're less likely to be flexible, but you know they're able to hold things together just for the same stubbornness. Scorpio, Taurus, Leo, and Aquarians, if you deal with them, they're going to be very beneficial for you. But nonetheless, it's really talking about the structures over here. So freaking, you're unstoppable, but just don't put your head in the sand when it comes to it, because sometimes this 4 of Pentacles talks about somebody who needs to kind of open, but he's staying closed at any point. It's almost somebody who's staying in the house looking for money that is buried somewhere, not to burn because it's the fire, but in the end dies together with the money. So this is really, really a little bit of a warning, even though it's not necessarily a bad card, but just wanted to mention this. But overall, look at it, freaking positivity. It's also something spiritual coming to you. This is also a karma card, so something karmic happening to you. So open up to it and everything will really work out. So that's really good for you as well. Thanks, Barbie. Appreciate this. And thanks, Jenny, as well. So we will see. It doesn't take such a long time, so why not to put them? So this one is next. And this one is for guessing after. So here we have Taurus and Leo guessed. Ooh, Kylie. See, I kind of like knew you'll be next. So I'm going to put here Kylie. I'm going to get your card later. So Taurus. And let's see, Taurus. How is everybody doing with COVID? It's a freaking disaster everywhere over here. Like, it's apparently so contagious. Everybody's getting it. Suffering for months about that. So hopefully everybody's staying well. I'm just like horrified of disease and still wearing my mask when I go to the grocery store, but not everywhere else. So Taurus, 9 of Wands. Ooh, I like this 9 of Wands. It's not like the proverbial one, which we kind of like see it, but like he's standing there because like there's like something really, really nice happening. She's coming in, stretching her arm. She's almost like a ballet dancer. Ooh, we have a karma card over here, and this one wanted to come out, and we have the Knight of Cups. So you have been really guarded. 9 of Wands is about being guarded. 9 of Wands is about trying to fight your battle, even though you have lost quite a bit of that, being wounded, right? You can see him having his head wrapped. And this is kind of overall the thing. He even put his helmet down over here. But look at that. He's actually almost like saluting somebody. Some cave creature, which seems to be like really, really adorable. But she's almost like a ballet dancer. So it's almost like giving me the contrast between his masculinity and her femininity over here, which almost like is the same meaning when it comes to basically Judgment Day. And Judgment Day, by the way, there is no such a thing as Judgment Day. There is like no judgment on the other side. It's literally you're feeling a little bit different. You kind of like challenge yourself with everything. And now you're just looking at it and seeing really how you learned how things felt, etc., etc. So that's why there is no judgment. But judgment is talking about that here actually we have judgment. I think that's what we need to understand, that, you know, we kind of like look at the person and say, oh, you know what? so and so did so and so, and that's kind of like very important to me. This is like very scorpionic influence over here. Of course, it's ruled by Pluto, and Pluto is like that underworld, and it could be some kind of influence on the past lives. I think, Taurus, you may be thinking and feeling that, you know, certain things are happening kind of like against your will, even though you're doing it, so it's very confusing for you. And then you're going to realize that there's like something you're living or cutting from your past lives, and this really talks about there's like a reward of some sort, right? There's like some kind of like motion forward, and you're feeling very light, you're feeling very flirty, you're feeling very amorous, so kind of like express your love, which I think is very important to, like, it's really interesting that they're naked right here, so everybody's just being who they are. There's like nothing trying to hide, because here this is all about bringing gifts and trying to hide or trying to beautify themselves, but here they're all just simply who they are, which is the point of everything. So Scorpio, Taurus, this is really good. You're releasing something that you came here to learn, so it's like check mark, kind of like your list is kind of like moving on and getting accomplished. So hopefully it kind of like really works out. I'm going to get the next one here. So did we have any guesses here? Trying to stay healthy, no masks here, enjoying summer. Well, summer is not contagious. Usually it's the winter that is contagious. There's like this new, what do they call it, kraken that is coming out, and oh my gosh, like all my friends in Toronto like coughing and sick and testing daily. Is just like, ugh, I just hope it doesn't get here. So Kylie and Barbie guessed nope. Gemini. Well, we are still sleepy, guys, I understand. Who was this like on fire? Barbie was like in one of those last sessions on fire. It was just crazy. Which one was that? Which one was that? No, it was not Taurus. Oh my gosh, I'm lost in space. I just completely... Gemini, right? Gemini. I think it was Gemini. Just want to check it. Of course, it's going to be the last one, isn't it? Of course, it's going to be the last one. Yes, Gemini. It's Gemini. It's okay, Gemini. Do we have any Geminis? That little kind of like late energy over here. So let me just put the stamp. And let's start with Geminis. All right. Barbie, you're close. Sagittarius, Gemini, the same axis. Just to let you know, Gemini. So we have the Knight of Cups over here. We have 4 of Wands. And then we have 9 of Pentacles. So Gemini, like in the right Gemini fashion, it's something very light and something is really moving on. Something is really, really happening. There's a flirtation. Like if you have somebody, it's kind of weird because this is just typical Gemini. It shows like with 2 faces, right? So I'm not saying you're two-faced, but like on one hand, you want to move ahead with some flirtation. On the other hand, you want to stay on your own and enjoy something. So it's kind of like the doubt that you have about the future. It's going to be really hard to kind of like decide because both of them have the some kind of like benefits, but everything is like minor arcana, and everything is very light. But I do have to say that I feel high intensity of this card. And giving this, there's still kind of like a little bit additions to the annual forecasts. I would just say that you have potential for everything. You have potential for romance. You have potential for something really serious, because to me, that's next level for whatever it is. Even if you're married and you have 3 kids, it's going to be something else that is going to firm up relationship even more. But this one shows clearly about venturing on your own and enjoying something that you have acquired so far. So that's really, really important, kind of like to do it. Yeah, I think Chris, like calling it Kraken, it really doesn't help. Here they are sticking with XBB 1.5 or something like that. So, yeah, the fear is never a great thing. I fully agree with that. Best Gemini reading I have done. Oh, Lorna, thank you so much. I'm so jealous not to be Gemini like right now. This is so good. So who is next here? Next is Pisces. You guys never guess Pisces. I'm going to put this one out over here. Pisces. I know you're not going to guess Pisces because somehow we don't have Pisces over here and nobody kind of like really jumps on it. So I still want to do it because people can maybe come later. I know that some readers are just excluding certain signs. Just, it's so weird because each of us has different signs that is also kind of like needed. Ooh, we have the star. Oh my gosh, what a powerful image this is. No, is this the star? That's not a star, that's actually the moon. That's the moon, yeah. I was like, why is the star card having pillars here? It doesn't fit into the archetype. And there it goes, my logical mind goes and spins. And then we have, but there is like a connection with the stars. Oh my gosh. So we're talking Pisces, and this is your card, my dear Pisces. This is like major, this is major, and this is major. So something this year is going to be happening that is beyond something you can even think about it. So if you're a childbearing age, you might expect to be a mother, or it's going to be enlargement of a family in some way or another. This really talks about this connection, because what is really typical about Pisces is that you are, quote unquote, the gateway. You are the in and out of this planet, right? So it's like when we have this, like the karmic wheel. So here is like basically the death, and here is the birth, and you're like basically sitting right here. So you're ruling that kind of like entrance, right? And this is why I generally don't consider Pisces as a sign per se, but it's sort of like they're doing their own thing, if you wish, right? And also, like, you have like two fishes kind of like swimming in the opposite direction, meaning exactly one can go toward life, one can go down to death. And this is a clear one that she's coming from the other side. We call it death, but it's really the other side, right? And it's really interesting. Look at how many stars we have over here. So to me, it really tells me it's all about the spiritual connection. It's going to be extremely, extremely important. You're going to be fine-tuning certain things over here, even when it comes to the hangman, even when it comes to the situation that you are like really exposing yourself. And it's really interesting over here how it shows the snake, it shows skies over here, it shows the masks, and almost like it makes me believe that he has left this one behind in order to kind of like relinquish his powers, right? And kind of like really try to understand what is going on. So it's going to be for you guys some really interesting experience. And since I was talking about NDE, pardon me, I think you might have NDE, because she is coming back and she's getting the spiritual gifts. And this is kind of like pregnant. It could be pregnant pause, it could be nurturing of some sort. It really shows up here. And here it is like kind of understanding, maybe this is just going into your own worlds, as usually you get lost into. Hello, yes, are you liking the reading for Pisces, Madame Safi? Hello. And my dear Pisces, I cannot add the majors, but like, because they are so intrinsically powerful. Like, if you really think about it, they are like this is a tree and this is a tree value, so this is just the upgrade of the same one. So one, initially she nourishes others and he kind of like deals with the others, and here it is like understanding a bigger picture and submitting yourself to the new understanding and the new knowledge. So good news is good. Bad news is like not much you can do. You're simply being pushed in that direction. So when I look at Pisces readings, I just kind of like really think about all of us other signs, because your reading generally tells me, okay, so this is the general motion. This is what the universe is communicating, because you're that gateway and you're kind of like pushing and opening this door for us. So that's what's going to be here. We are going to have maybe completely different understanding about the universe. Maybe we are going to find new stars. Maybe we are going to find some kind of like proof that there is God. I'm just telling you because this is all in the realm of Pisces, and you're clearly getting that information, which is going to be very, very important here. So there you go. Yeah. Wasn't that a great moon card? Yeah, Kyle, it was amazing. There's a bad cold surfacing in our office, and it's not COVID. I know, it's kind of like these respiratory illnesses are everywhere. I saw the guy in the bulk barn. It's like a place that we can buy stuff in bulk. And the guy walked in and he was coughing without mask. I'm thinking like, what are you thinking? There are containers with food. And so I just walked out. It's just like, okay, maybe not today. This is just crazy. Like, come on. And so, yeah, you have people with COVID walking around. So I guess now it is that herd immunity, whether we make it or not. And I am not crazy about getting a disease to get stronger, but that's what it is. All right, so this was my weird shuffling. So this one is going next and this one is after, and we had guesses, Aquarius and Sagittarius, and we have Leo. We have Leo coming next. Okay, Leo. Let's see. Leo. And we have Three of Cups, Knight of Cups. Oh my gosh, what a beautiful Three of Cups this is. Let me see the other side. No, this one is so much better. And it's just simply, are those birds? I'm not so sure what this is, to be honest with you, but there is like something coming into this cup for sure. And this one, enjoy, Chris. It was really nice to see you. Happy New Year to you again. Love you. Talk to you soon. Okay, guys, so what will we have? Leo, Three of Cups, Knight of Cups, and Four of Wands. So what's happening here? This is about friends, this is about lovers, and this is about going to the next step. So maybe something is going in a direction. You're becoming a lover with a friend, and then this is moving to the next stage. It is like sometimes very, very straightforward as it is. But in order to complicate things, because you're fixed sign, this is adding to 7, and the 7 generally means about motion, that you're like ready to go solo. It's almost like you're making some decision, and maybe by making this decision, certain things are being put in motion and certain things are kind of like moving ahead, right? Because Three of Cups to me is always a little bit of Aquarian, gathering of friends, really nurturing each other, right? But here we have in this particular deck this like waterfall, which is really telling us, and what is here? These are her feet. It almost looks like maybe even olive of lavender, even though it's very small. It's clearly talking about the bounty, and there's like one blood, one red, and one dark woman over here. except like two of them are dressed and one is not dressed. So it's talking about you possibly just getting naked in a metaphorical way and speaking out your needs. I really like this card because it has a really, really big cup, which is usually only in the Queen of Cups card. So we are actually really dealing with you being set on a new path. And this new path, I don't know, guys, if you want to date and marry, that is like really over here forecasted. If you kind of like want to get in touch with who you are, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be really peaceful. Look at the waterfall is here and waterfall is here. I would just say it's a really, really good omen for something beautiful coming your way. So that's really, really good. All right, so this one is now and this one is after. So Barbie sticking to Sagittarius. That's a really, really good. And where is my pen? Oh, there it is, hiding. Wait, just bigger chances, right? No, it's Aries. Aries. So let me do this Aries. How am I doing with time? A little bit behind, but that's because I was late as well. Let me see. No. So we are having 9 of Wands. Oops. 9 of Wands, Wheel of Fortune, the Magician, kind of like reversed or like inverted. And then we have like the 5 of Swords. So, my dear Aries, you're defending something that is really dear to you. Like you feel there have been lots of blows, but you're like continuing to defend yourself. So here again, like which one was the other one? Scorpio, was it? That we had both of them showing up at the same time. But it almost looks like you're entering something with a winning attitude, and this is really good. Like maybe you're also kind of connected to the fixed signs, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio. That's something that is dominating this year. This is definitely having a big chunk of luck, Wheel of Fortune, but this is also karma. And he has this tree of life, and tree of life is always about connections and connections with the past lives. And look at his 10 and 1. I'm just adding either minors or majors, not so much majors, but here this one is just telling me that it should be spiritual, but instead you're turning your back to it, right? The Magician always wins, even when he is in a kind of like negative situation, but then he may be exposed as somebody who is taking advantage, as we are seeing it over here, right? People walking away. So you need to really figure out if this fight is really worth your while, because you might win in the end, but you might get some really bad reputation with that. I don't know. I'm just trying to be positive, but this is kind of like what is really coming through. So be very, very careful, because some balance and some patience is really, really important over here. But all of them are very solid. You're very goal-oriented. You're very victory-oriented. So that's going to be really interesting, kind of like finding out later in the year what's going to come down. Okay, so where are we now? How many do we have left? Let's see. I probably should have 3. No, I have. So this is the last one. We are guessing, guys. Let's see. It's Virgo. Oh, who is this? Oh, that was the last one, Kylie. Kylie, you're like one off. You're like one phase off, but that's normal. We're in Mercury retrograde, guys. It's very, very hard to kind of like guess in Mercury retrograde. I almost didn't see Virgo here. 53, 15. So, Virgo. 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 So Virgo, we have 3 of Cups. It's something about friendships. You have 9 of Cups. It is emotional fulfillment. Ooh, look at that, Virgo. It's going to be a year of love with friends, self-love, and love with another. And this is absolutely lovely. It's going to be some kind of like healing that needs to take place. This is all about also love also comes with respect. It's a self-respect. It's respect from the other people. And it's respect from that special person. So maybe it's something that you have worked for a long time, because Virgo's role is to really learn that self-esteem, because that's why it's shown as like that innocent girl pretty much, right? Who needs to kind of like learn to stand for herself so she's not steamrolled. And so basically what do we add to it? We add to 5. So it's going to be really playful, very kind of like interesting kind of like path to move forward. So I really do see, Virgo, that you're going to be valuing yourself, and that is going to reflect back to universe, which is going to send you lots of kind of like benefits and partners. So be open to new friendships, be open to time on your own, because this connects to that Hermit, which is your card, which you need to also spend that time to nourish yourself, as well as to kind of like move toward the partners who are really good for you. It's kind of like it's in the stars. It's the person who you have written in your chart for coming in this life. So that is really, really interesting over here. So this one is Sagittarius. Finally, all of you who were guessing Sagittarius. Is this the last one? I think, let me see, what is the other one? Should be Capricorn that I didn't draw, right? Oh no, there are two. There are 2 left. So one is going to be Capricorn and one is going to be Aquarius. Okay, so this one and this one. So just one more to read. So Sagittarius after this. Sagittarius. Did you guess, Barbie? You guessed it. Did you not guess it? Let me see. Just tell me. I didn't look, so I need to know. So we have the Star. We have the 4 of Cups over here. So you guessed it. Okay. Let me just put Barbie here. And then we have the 8 of Swords. Kylie and Barbie. We have the 8 of Swords. So the Star is like nourishing nature over here. Yay! I love your like fat cat over there icon. It's really kind of like makes me happy whenever. Capricorn was red, Kylie, but I didn't. One of these has to be Capricorn because I didn't pull it, right? As we were doing it, I just call Capricorn because it's their birthday. So what do we have here, guys, Sagittarians? So you do have Aquarius of some sort coming through, and it's kind of like showing, like, look at this, like this is like the regular Aquarius kind of like thing, and it's a miss because she has to have 1 foot in the water, and it's really important to show kind of like the full connection of the universe. But nonetheless, we see that she's really mesmerized. What she's looking at this apparition, right? She's looking at somebody coming through, which almost looks like it's, I don't know, maybe a visitor from another planet, or it's certain energy that she's stepping in, a certain energy that she's kind of like working with it, etc., right? So and in 4 of Cups, it almost like tells me that something such a profound, like in a profound way happened to you, that you're kind of like almost like a little bit lost after that. So almost like maybe you're putting somebody on a pedestal, and then like 4 of Cups shows about disinterest into anything. It just and an 8 of Swords shows about being stuck where you shouldn't be stuck. So what you need to do, you need to, throughout the year, when you start feeling this, remind yourself about this like high it's really a high that you're feeling, that this kind of connection. And understand that this is always with you, even if you're stuck, even if you feel there is no solution, even if you're bored, there is like this element that you can always push the button and kind of like refresh everything that is really happening. This is also a highly spiritual year for you guys, because the star always talks about nourishment, and it talks about that you need to be emotionally and physically very, very kind of like balanced in order to move forward. So maybe this is what is happening, that you're getting in emotional balance and also in some kind of like expression balance, which is really, really important over here. This worries me a little bit, because Eight of Swords is really not really captive person, but somebody who insists of staying in captivity. And so translate that into staying in the wrong job, staying in the wrong relationship, staying anywhere and saying yourself, no, I'm fine, I have to do it, where something else is actually waiting for you. So this is all to put in perspective, but this is really talking about eat well, sleep well, meditate, because this is really telling you this is what's going to be moving forward, right? So that's, my dear Saggies. Yes, Kylie, this Aquarius hasn't been read yet. So it's one of these is Capricorn, one of this is Aquarius. So this is the last one. And so that's Aquarius, which means this one is probably, yeah, Capricorn. So Aquarius comes last. So let's see. Let's get this stamp. It's right on 60. I'm getting Aquarius. So let's see. Aquarius. So we have Knight of Swords, which is Aquarius. We have Two of Cups and we have Four of Cups. Really interesting, though. Very much like Sagittarians that I was reading, which was like going to be very emotional. Here talks about setting new goals, kind of like going in different direction, because I don't know if you can see it, he's in the clouds. It's not something firm, it's something really, really high up. So these are like lofty goals and somebody moving really, really fast toward that. But it also looks like Aquarius is not losing sight of balance, because kind of like being very earthy and loving with one special person is going to come here as well. So kind of like you have big goals. You have goals of achievement and goals of career, but also kind of like you want your little corner of happiness for yourself. But then why are you so disappointed? Are you disappointed because this is really not fulfilling for you, or you really didn't pursue it? So there's like something that maybe you're feeling, I'm the problem, and why can't I be happy like the other people? Well, hello, you're Aquarius. As Aquarius, like you are supposed to be different. You're in those spins on the side, and it kind of like goes in this direction. But I would really not fret over here, because 4 and 2 are 6, and 6 always talks about balance, right? It's that proverbial Lover's card, and Lover's card is about the choices. And sometimes these choices are hard because we don't want to hurt people, and we also don't want to be hurt, right? But 6 is also a devil card, which can sometimes brings us into tricky situations, especially if you're very curious Aquarius. So this is kind of like something that is really, you're like really progressive this year. You're like really moving in different direction. But at the same time, I'm so glad that you're not forgetting. But so what? If you need a time for yourself, so be it. You know what? I'm Aquarius. I'm actually never bored. I just don't know what means being bored. I, in fact, find the people who are bored are boring. But I invite that I feel this way. So this is kind of like fine. Maybe just sitting and... oh yeah, I do know what is bored. It's like when I'm waiting for somebody and that somebody is late, then get really bored, but really quickly annoyed. That's kind of like what it'd be. So is it kind of like waiting for this like proverbial Godot or something? I don't know. Like we are clearly, there's like something going on and we are watching paint dry, and this is really not a good kind of like feeling at all. Yeah. So that was the gist of today. The next 2 weekends will be monthly, 6 signs each. Now I'm going to do Kylie and Barbie first. I'm going to do with these cards. So who was first? Kylie was first. Kylie, let's see your card. What message do you get? And you get 2 of Pentacles. This is about juggling. This is about walking the straight line. And look, everybody's looking, and this is like a pressure. Everybody, like it's a pressure that something will happen because you feel that something, it's interesting because you don't know if they're watching him or the boat, but like you feel that all eyes are on you, and that is kind of like making you nervous. So this also can mean that somebody is sitting on 2 chairs. This also could mean that you're like torn between the private and the public. But it's kind of like something that is really telling you for the next 2 months to kind of like really be mindful, because all eyes will be on you for the next 2 months. So that's kind of like what it goes. All right. So Barbie, and Barbie, you're getting full. Barbie, there is like a new beginning for you. The Fool is, where is the dog? There is no dog. Oh my God, this deck has no dog. It has the tipped over chalice over here, and has the lilies, which talks about the past, which he's shedding. He's shedding the past behind him. And man, like look at him. Like, isn't this the posture? When you look at people like that, you just like immediately straighten up. So this is a new beginning. Just take this leap, leave the past behind, leave the emotional problems behind. It's time to jump into new. So take this leap, and it's really, really important. Really positive card talking about the new cycle that is about to start or is starting, and suggest, I guess it's the new niveau, new level of learning the experiences. But you can, at this stage, reap on all of these kind of things that you have already learned, so you can go much faster and stay longer in the spots that you actually really like. So there we are. And for the last, we have the doors, guys. So let me see, let me not close the screen, and I'm just going to put the doors stamp over here, and you think about the question, yes or no question. You're welcome, Barbie. Very nice card to get. And I'm going to use Celestial Tarot for this. Like, these dailies are giving me ability to use all my tarot deck. My dad, he never throws anything, but had a box this big, full of tarot decks, and he just dumped it. I swear it was like about 100 decks in it, and I don't know how many I have here, 30, 40, but it really sucks. So I'm just going to put them down. I'm going to look the cards so this one did turn and this one did turn. So I guess it's not going to happen because they came out. So we have door number 1, door number 2, and door number 3. So guys, make your question, focus, and let's go. So the door number 1 is the Star. This is a clear yes. It is telling you that possibly your question was about being nourished, getting what is coming to you, like some hopes, and this is all coming through. So congratulations. The door number 2 is 6 of Cups. So this is talking about the past, and if your question is not about the past, then I would say it's very iffy that's going to happen. But if it is about the past, the answer is yes. It's going to happen. It is something that is connecting with something that had to happen, but it didn't happen. So now it's kind of getting a second hand. But it's not so well positioned for the future. And the door number 3, it's Two of Wands. And that is a clear maybe. Maybe is because the Two of Wands has 2 different roads to get there. So it's almost like probability 50-50, right? That's why I say maybe for certain things to happen. But Two of Wands simply means that you're going to take it. Even if you get 50% of something, you're still going to be happy about it. So there we are, guys. We came to the very first of 2023. I was so excited this morning, and I was like so ticked off when I thought it's not going to happen, but it did happen. So thank you, universe, for allowing me to press this stream live button, as it kind of like was so nice to connect with you. So I hope to see you here next Saturday, the same time. We are already doing February, imagine that. So it's rolling in a big way. And hopefully we are going to continue having nice weather over here. For those of you who didn't have it, who had snow, well, hopefully you have anything that you enjoy and go with that. I wish everybody a beautiful week. Is this somebody visiting me the last moment? The kittens? Hey? This one is Jaspy or Onyx, I'm not so sure. There is like somebody behind the monitor. Hello, come. This is Jasper. This is a Jaspy girl. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Show Terry, look at how kittens are growing. She is a Jaspy girl. She's very mischievous. She's showing her personality. Like the little Pisces that appears to be, I'm so nice and cuddly, but she just jumps on her brother when she feels like it. So thank you guys all. It was really a pleasure. And I'll see you next week. Wish you all the best. And bonne journée à tous et tous. Okay, guys. Talk to you soon. And don't forget to check my dailies. Love you.